Hi guys, welcome to Tarot for Tired People. Welcome if you're visiting me for the first time. Today we're going over some of my most favorite mass market oracle decks that are my favorites because they are the most versatile. They work as pairings, they work as clarifiers, they're the workhorses of my collection, and I have to do a video dedicated to them. So let's get on with it. The first one I have is Oracle of the Radiant Sun. It's one of my oldest Oracle decks, but it is absolutely beautiful. It works as a clarifier. It works as a pairing. The words, because it's one word, it's got a very strong energy. And yes, it's colorful, but its colors are such that it really goes with almost all tarot decks. And the words are not just soft. So there are words like extremism and idealism. So you can use them almost to find and clarify shadow aspects of a reading. And it really sort of points you to things that you don't want to see. And it's got super divinatory powers, is what I would say. Like if I am doing a predictive reading, I would definitely use this oracle deck. It's tiny little cards, but even the art of it is just so good. And I think you can sense it from the camera that it is a very strong oracle deck. Now, for those of you who are interested in astrology, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun is actually astrology cards. So, what is exciting is you have the guidebook. It kind of has a weird kind of box, but that's okay. We'll live with it. So you can get like for every card, if you're interested, that's also how it's a workhorse because it has so for example, if we take the first one, which is resistance. So in this one, you will get what it is, and then you will get what Mercury Torian is and how that works. And then you have the events, drafting contracts, haggles over document wording, insurance policies, etc. So often this card, when it appears in a reading, denotes a need to focus on financial thinking and can be indication that the questioner must look at accounting, economics, or business advice. Alternatively, it may denote work in travel, transport, or the media. And the way to interpret the setting of the dial, it's basically to a particular event, we call the list of qualities. The first house, Aries and Mars, will all relate to self-expression. So how you go about reading it is also here. And what I really enjoy about this deck is that it's not a soft deck. So you can use it for work and business and finance and that kind of advice. And that's what I especially love about this deck. It's not just, reach out to your soul and heal. You get it. The next one I have on the list is Soul Mirror Oracle, also very versatile, also one of my favorites. It works in pairings, it works as clarifier. Let me take the guidebook out. It's beautiful black and white imagery and artwork, and each of the cards has a light and a dark version. Okay, let me hold this for you. Like withholding or releasing with forgiveness. Awareness is foolish or conscious. Wish, despairing or hopeful. Intuition, confused or clear. So you have the shadow aspect of intuition and the clear aspect of intuition. Alignment, a dishonest alignment or truthful alignment. Attention, resistant or surrendered. Cycle, regressed or evolved. Confusion, fearful or serene. Transformation, repressed or activated. Support, search, cultivation. Oops, can't have that there. Blessings. So the artwork is stunning. It's black and white with this beautiful gold bar. So I love a good keyword. I love a big card. And you can totally tell how this would go with a lot of tarot readings. Works beautifully as a clarifier, works amazing as a pairing, and my all-time favorite, no matter how many other oracle decks come into my life. This one is just stunning. All of the ones that I've put here, stunning. Shadow work, negligent or loving. Expression, suppressed or joyful. So I'll show you how that works. Now, again, it's not numbered, but it's alphabetical. Expression, suppressed or joyful. Be free in your expression, shine with joy, and know that your light will touch everyone around you. Don't let your fears or limitations hold you back any longer. You deserve to be. The world is waiting to see your beautiful, unique expression. And then it has different things. Then it has a reflection of how can I embrace joy in this situation and allow myself to experience it? What steps can I take to let go of any hindrances and freely share my joy with myself and others? In general, I feel like this one is still underrated, but it works and speaks beautifully. The energy of it is excellent. But as you can tell, this is a soft oracle. This is not a loud or crone energy oracle. It's quite young in energy. It's quite soft in energy. It's quite polite. But sometimes that's what you need. You want something that's soft. That's the Soul Mirror Oracle. The next deck I'm going to talk about is the Lost Oracle by Fiona Horn. This was actually the first deck I ever got of Fiona Horn's, and I absolutely love it. It is in like shades of beige and black, and even the guidebook is written really well. And this will come to you where you will take a step back and think about, oh my God, that's just perfect. That's the kind of clarifier this is. And because of its energy, like the energy is quite calm and very, when you're overwhelmed, when you don't want something as strong as the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, you want something that's a little bit softer and a little bit more like a guide. This is that oracle that you would reach out to. Like, you cannot ignore this one. Like it, and the cards it has, like primordial passion, leave your mark. So again, for me, someone who's building a business, who's trying to create a legacy, things like that, like this deck for some really connects, but I've used it for other people too. And they really, everyone connects with this one. And because it has a lot of hopeful cards, it's not super like soft, but it is hopeful. It's a hopeful deck. And I really like that about it. It doesn't have a lot of cards, but it has just the right amount. Like you will not feel like, oh, I don't have enough cards. Like it's not saying enough to me. I would 100% recommend this as a clarifier. That's how I use it. And like balance, strength, and vulnerability. Or this one says elixir, your wish is granted. So I'll show you the guidebook now. It's a small little guidebook, but it's a good one. So number 10, your wish is granted. So first it talks of the art. I'm not going to go over that. And then it talks about to those who dare to be courageous, who possess the audacity to seize the moment and drink deeply from the elixir, great wishes will be granted. And then it's really well written. And here it also shows like some shadow sides. While the elixir brings the potential for greatness, temper your initial expectations. Understand that the journey may not unfold precisely as envisioned. Sometimes elixir's magic weaves an even grander tale, one beyond the scope of your initial wish. Be prepared to face challenges and unknown terrains. Elixir's magic, while potent, does not shield from the inevitable ebb and flow of life. The resilience of your spirit will be your compass through storms and calms alike. So I really like that it's hopeful, but in like crone energy, like in the energy of, like it says, you're the catalyst. What a beautiful, uh, or the stand right between the realms. So it's quite a witchy deck. I get really nice crone vibes from it, like an elder vibe for getting advice on my tarot readings. And that's how I use it. I don't really use it by itself, but I've used it for pairings, etc. And it works beautifully. So this is the Lost Oracle. So the next one we have is the Dream Song Oracle. It's quite popular, and I think this is the most clarifying oracle I have, honestly. It is just so beautiful. And because of its dreamy art, it kind of goes with everything. Like you can use it to pair, and it's just beautiful art, and it's written by Angie Sullins. So it's just gorgeous. I think this is the only deck I have by her, but it is absolutely fantastic. Again, it is very soft. It is very ethereal, and it's quite spiritual in its advice. Like I fall, fail, fly, which is quite nice. Like it's not a very, everything is positive. There's also cards like let it burn or enter the conversation. This is my favorite card. in this oracle deck. Let's see. Let me show you and it's a stunning box. Like, how gorgeous is this? So we have enter the conversation. That's the first one. So you get a full, nice color guidebook. The universe is an ongoing conversation between source and matter. You're a part of that conversation, being an extension of source and an embodiment of matter. And then it talks about different things, even the way the air smells, etc. The entirety of the universe conspires to delight you in conversation and engagement. Slow down, pay attention, look, listen, enter the conversation. So it's really, really nice. But from a spiritual perspective, you'd want to go to this oracle when you're seeking that spiritual guidance. Transform your thoughts. So this is more the big picture readings that you're doing. We are seeking that higher perspective. This is absolutely gorgeous. And the art itself, I mean, you could just sit with this and use it in pairings and use it as a clarifier. Love it. So this is the Dream Song Oracle. Finally, I have the Moonology Messages Oracle by Yasmin Boland. We all know of all the Moonology oracles, but this is my most favorite. It is also the most versatile. It is, I think, the most modern of the lot. Like, it has, and therefore it is I love this design and this artwork a lot more. And because, again, of the color palette, I feel like it goes energetically and visually with a lot of other things. It pairs beautifully with most decks, like from Tarot of the Holy Spectrum to Tarot de Luz. I have paired this with almost everything possible, and it works excellent for that. But you can imagine drawing like 3 cards. And it also has this one I would use in an everyday reading. This is not like you would want to draw these cards when you're doing your everyday readings. And it also has slightly shadower versions, like cards like accept responsibility or believe in the higher power, stay in integrity, go for it. And I love that. I love oracles that give you, this is so different in energy, right? This is so direct. This is actionable. It gives you actionable insights, and it's not just like take a risk. So imagine if this is a reading in which you're asking for advice and you get go for it, or you get take a risk. It really helps sort of bind that reading. Or even if you're asking for advice around something and you get watch for signs, communicate, boundaries. And the artwork is so stunning because it's not just the color. So there are colorful cards, but there are also cards like this, which are a little darker tone, which I love. Like, I love this sort of collage where the colors are still very bright, irrespective of using, yellow or black. Like, this one's my most favorite card in this oracle, New Moon, and it says beginnings. So let's use the guidebook and show you how the guidebook is. Honestly, after this, I've never needed another Moonology. So this is New Moon. This is how it is basically. Yeah, so New Moon is 102. Let's go there. You might feel as though you've been wrestling with your current issues for far too long, but drawing this card suggests otherwise. In fact, the message of this card is that you're somehow at the start of a new cycle with regard to life in general, or any specific dilemma you're inquiring about. Either your story is just beginning, or the situation you're asking about is old and you're starting a new chapter. And then you have additional meanings. A yes is coming your way. Chase your dreams, start over. You're on fire. So, and then it also speaks about the symbol. The new moon is the start of a lunar cycle and brings with it fresh energy. Embody courage and strength, and you'll be unstoppable. So this is a very actionable oracle. That's how I would look at this. And guys, these colors, I mean, can you see? I'm sure you're feeling exactly what I feel when I am using this deck. The colors are just stunning. It is just so nice. Love it. So this is Moonology Messages Oracle. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy working with these oracles as much as I did. Please leave a like or subscribe if you haven't yet, and it will help a creator like me grow. I'm a small and new creator, and very, very passionate about what I do. I do hope that this helps you in your spiritual and healing journey. Bye.